A new rumor alleges that Sony is canceling contracts with Sweet Baby Inc. attached to them. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. This new rumor comes from the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel and their alleged Sweet Baby Inc. insider. Gothic Therapy host Master of the TDS said a verified Sweet Baby Inc. insider has come forward with something massive. Sony has started canceling contracts, specifically the ones with SBI attached. Later in the video, he elaborated, saying a source we fully verified, someone who's given us solid info in the past, reached out with a claim Sony has started canceling projects that had Sweet Baby Inc. attached. His co-host, Writing Raven, added, "We don't know every project and we can't confirm each title independently, but the source was very clear. These cancellations weren't random, they were deliberate." Specifically, Master of the TDS revealed that a God of War Ragnarok follow-up project that had Sweet Baby Inc. attached was scrapped. He said, according to our insider, Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in a follow-up to God of War Ragnarok, whether that was a DLC, a spin-off focused on Atreus, or even a full sequel, we can't say for sure. But what we do know is this, that project may no longer be moving forward. As noted by Gothic Therapy in their video, Sweet Baby Inc. previously worked on God of War Ragnarok. It was listed on their website. I'm not sure if it still is. Haven't been to their website in a little bit. I know they've made some changes to it over the past year, but that game was recently released to Steam last September, and it only hit a peak concurrent player count of just 35,615. That was less than half of what the 2018 God of War game did when it was released to Steam back in 2022. It hit a peak concurrent of 73,529 players. Even more interesting about this rumor is that it appears there might be a major shift in how developers are looking at Sweet Baby Inc. If we just go back 3 months to January, Master of the TDS reported that the company had not lost any contracts and was still getting work. He wrote this on X. "I've told people over and over they have lost no contracts and are continuing to work. I got that information from an SBI insider. There are about 30 games they have a hand in yet to come out." In fact, Kim Belair even said during a XOXO presentation in October 2024 that the company was still working with developers and their business had not been harmed at all due to Gamergate 2.0. She said, "I was so worried that studios would stop working with us. I was worried we seemed too toxic. I worried we seemed too dangerous, too beleaguered, too much of a risk to work with. But that is not what happened. What happened was that, at least privately, every team worked with was quite supportive. The external silence, I'll say, was deafening at times and also frustrating, but such is the way of corporate. And it was still nice, fundamentally, I think, to realize that studios, teams, and individuals still wanted us around and still saw our value." However, while Belair claimed the company had not lost any work, a former employee who uses the name Kazuma Hashimoto detailed in a Twitch stream in September 2024, "There are definitely jobs that I've had where people have seen the fact that I worked for Sweet Baby, and it's been a year since I've worked with them, and it's just a contractual basis when I was so just periodically for a couple of years. People will literally be like, hey, are we going to get harassed for hiring you? And I think that really sucks. That instead of we'll protect our employee, the employer, or the potential person giving you the contract will be more concerned about that than protecting their employees. Kind of effed up." So that is the latest rumor. Don't really have any other details other than that. Master of the TDS, Writing Raven, and the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel are claiming that Sony is canceling contracts with Sweet Baby Inc. involved and are specifically pointing to a potential God of War Ragnarok follow-up project that has been scrapped, and the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on the original God of War Ragnarok game. So that could be some good news for gamers, but we know a lot of times when one domino is falling over, or what is it? When one head is cut off, two more rise in its place. That's the Hydra motto, right? So you might be able to cut out Sweet Baby Inc., but they might be able to infest and infiltrate other companies. And we know most of these major developers were hiring Sweet Baby Inc., and they were hiring Sweet Baby Inc. for a reason, because they all have DEI agendas and policies at their companies. I mean, we see this at Microsoft, it's at Sony. We know it's at Ubisoft. It's at all of these major developers, even obviously their subsidiaries for Microsoft. You look at Bethesda, you look at Activision, Blizzard, etc. Even Nintendo has this stuff as well. So we will see if this leads to maybe more cuts for Sweet Baby Inc. projects and maybe some of these major developers, these major companies actually gutting their DEI, gutting the propagation of woke ideology in their video games and in their companies' policies. We will see if that happens. At this point, I am very skeptical if that is the case, but I think it could be a good sign that Sweet Baby Inc. is going away, but it also could mean our job is going to get a lot more difficult because it was very easy to identify the games that would have woke ideology attached to them, given the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. worked it on them. And I think that might be a little bit more difficult now if Sweet Baby Inc. goes away. But we're smart. We will figure it out. But we always have to stay wary and stay vigilant on this stuff because they are going to try to continue to push this stuff. This stuff is not just going to go away anytime soon. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.